Hey everybody, got another video here for you. This has been stained. I just did a little sanding on the corner on the back here on a part that I actually am not planning to use as part of the body blank. And yeah, the stuff is stained. It's not that's not the natural color. So I can either leave it stained or I can sand it back to the true natural color. I think I might sand it back. Yeah, if I sand it back and I don't like the natural color, I can use dye and turn it any color I want, even this color again. Part of the reason why I'm sanding this back is when I go and start cutting the body out and stuff like that, that's going to expose edges from the inside of the board, and I don't want there to be a noticeable or a strange kind of a difference between the color of the wood that's exposed by the cuts on the side and the stuff on the top that's stained. So sand it back some, and then the stuff on the side will look similar to the stuff on the front and back. And that way maybe I can just cut it and sand back the front and the back, and maybe the sides that I'm leaving raw or not cutting or whatever, and then just clear cut it. Okay, the body blank's all sanded back, and this is what I ended up with. I did the sides too, and the ends. That's the back. And I did the ends. On this end, you can see that's pretty much what the natural wood looks like right in along here. So it's probably a white cedar, I guess. And yeah, but actually with this popped grain and stuff, almost looks like oak or something. So that's the wood. That's the grain popped wood. That's the maple. And yeah, so now it's time to try to color match. And just looking at this through the camera, that's pretty much white wood, and that's a little on the brown side. So I've got some brown cedarwood dye here, and I'm going to mix up some very, very weak light mix of it and try it on the neck. Try to get down to this more of a light coffee, thin coffee kind of a color. And if I go too dark, I can always sand back. So it's not so much a matter of I can't get something that looks semi-decent at least. It's a matter of how many tries and how many failed attempts and how many coats. But I definitely want to raise the grain and then knock it back with some 320 or whatever before I apply the dye, because otherwise you put your dye on, the dye dries, and you get a perfect color, but you get fuzz, and then you try to get rid of the fuzz, and you sand off some of your color. So yeah, raising the grains first. It might be a little dark. I'm going to cut this. This stuff in general is weak, thin, you might say, and you gotta, if you wanted to actually like look that color, you'd probably have to put like 4 to 6 times the amount of powder in that I put in, but I don't know. The basic plan is I don't really have any maple to test on except for this neck, so I can just like do a dot here and a dot here kind of a thing, and then sand them back out. Yeah, maybe before I cut this, I'll get a paintbrush and put a dot on here and see what I've got. Because, like I said, the stuff is weak. So, that's way yellow. I better wait for it to dry. It's starting to turn a bit more coffee. Perhaps add some black to it or something. Okay, that's pretty dry and it's too yellow. I think I'll try adding some black, see if I can darken it down. Already, that's probably looking a little dark, actually. If you look at the overall color of that to this, that's definitely darker and yellower than this. That's lighter and yellower, I'd say. Um, Maybe that and sanding back might work. But another thing that I might try is like really dosing it with brown and then sanding back. Because the more brown you put in the dye, the less yellow and the more brown it becomes. Yeah, this isn't really doing it for me, so I'm going to try the overdose of brown. Okay, here we go. The black is actually indigo blue. Yeah, great, huh? It's really hard to find a real black stain or dye, whatever. These are aniline dyes, keto wood dyes. Okay, this is the brown. Wish me luck. Is this in camera in frame? Yeah. Going for it, the whole bag. You see, it helps if you shake it, right? Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, look at that. Some serious chocolate. Maybe, here, wait, let me get it to run down a bit. Right, so we want to be like, wow, we want to be like right here at this shade and then probably sanding back. And it's still looking a little yellow, but it's that's kind of the camera. This stuff up here is more like this color in real life. That looks awfully yellow, but it's actually more brownish like that. A little bit. All right, I'm going to shut up. Here we go. Oh my god, that's dark. Well, let it dry. Maybe sand it back, see what we get. Here, we'll time lapse it. Well, so here's what we have, and that's, oh my god, dark. Let me try hitting with some 320 or something. I don't know, this looks more like brownish or blackish almost, and this is more like cream colored. This might be hopeless. Especially since I dumped all the brown slash yellow I have into this jar that already had some of that indigo blue slash black in it. And probably, well, I don't know. I can cut it and see how much it's yellow versus black. The black could pop the green, and if I can get a little bit of yellow to kind of that there to that there is almost okay. Does the camera even pick it up? Yeah. Just a hint. Maybe it was best off in the first place and should have just sanded back. So you saw at first that I was doling this stuff out, like it was cocaine or something. And, but then I went crazy and dumped the whole bag in. So I'm thinking to cut this. The best plan is get a second jar in here and get some fresh water in it and just add like a drop or two at a time, and then not until, and see if I'm able to get a promising looking tint to the water. Use this stuff to basically colorize the water and see if I can come up with something promising looking enough to even try. So I'm off to fetch a jar. Okay, this is, let's see, 13, 14. This is guitar 15. And this is what the necks look like in a natural with the trapezoid and the Teflon tape on them. And as you can see, it's looking rather Gibson yellow. And if you hold up the body here, this is the back side. And I think it would probably go, let's see, yeah, it's going to go kind of like that to give you an idea. Okay, so here's your color match. You've got the yellow of the tape, there's the cedar, and up there's the maple. So maybe a natural would be adequate, shall we say? Yeah, if this is going to be tinted amber, that's all that's going to be maple. Maybe no stain at all. I don't know. Let me try cutting some. See what happens. Now see, that's more the color we're looking for here. Let me get the wood over here before it gets all stirred up. Yeah, that's closer. More back to the yellow. that some sanding might work. Almost looks like ale or cider or something. Actually, cider might be good for cedar, right? Okay, moment of truth. Got a fresh brush here. Try some of our, almost like a urine sample. Hate to say it, but yeah. Okay, little dot. Maybe 2 coats of that. Is that doing anything? Need to make it stronger? Camera hardly even picks it up. It looks about the same as the sanded back yellow. Yeah, it hardly looks like anything here, actually. So, there's that, and there's that. I don't know, it might be close. Maybe 2 coats. Maybe make it a little stronger. Let me try a little stronger. Maybe it needs a touch of red. That's probably too red. We might have a winner. Yeah, we're back to kind of a cider color. Perhaps with a hint of red now. I think I might give it a try. It might take 2 coats, but there's enough dye here in order to do the neck probably 3, maybe even 4 times 4 coats. So I figured out my dye color, and next step before dyeing is sand out my my color test. Well, it didn't quite get it all out, but I suppose it'll have to do. It's relics, right? Yeah, relic guitars are so cool because any little mess up, man, you can just claim it's relic. Actually, relic would be rather appropriate for this build in general. The whole like vintage vibe thing. Vintage vibe in copper. Not bad, if I do say so myself. I'm I'm impressed. I'm impressed, man. That came out pretty damn good. Pardon my French, but yeah, pretty fucking good, man. Pretty fucking good. Wow, that did come out good. Cool. And the cool thing is that I have the correct tone. So if, like, this turns out to be a little bit light, once it dries, I can always hit it with another coat. If it turns out to be a little dark when it dries, doubtful, then I can always sand it back a bit. But I'm in the right color range, so yeah, the right tone. It's just a matter of lightness and darkness now. Okay, this has had a chance to dry now, and overall I'm quite pleased, but I think the whole thing could actually use another coat, so I think I'll give the thing a second coat, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track here. Another coat, maybe two coats, and well, it'd be pretty close. Okay, I hit it with three coats of dye, and then I started getting impatient, so I added a few more drops of brown to the mix and hit it with fourth coat. And then I added a few more drops of brown to the mix and just hit it with the fifth coat. And it's getting pretty close, but when it dries, it'll become lighter in color. So I might need to even put a little bit more brown into the mix and give it a sixth coat. Wait and see. Okay. It's now had 3, 4, 5, 7 coats of dye on it. And I think I'm going to stop here. It got 3 coats of the like. Originally it was, I don't know what color it was. It was kind of like the cider color. And then I put a little bit more brown in it, gave it a fourth coat, put a little bit more brown in it, and gave it a fifth coat. Then I decided it was starting to look too yellow, so I took some of the red and gave it a coat of red, and that got it looking closer. And then I gave it a second coat of red that was the 7th coat, so it got 5 of the brown and then 2 of the red. And this is where I'm at, and I think I'm going to stop there. So yeah. So that's it. I think I'm going to stop here because that's probably, I don't think I'm going to get any better than that. So yeah, that's going to be it. So now I can go on to lacquering. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.